Alright, we've got the XV900 up and running. Let's put this thing through the paces and go over it and see what we got. It's a beast. Alright, this sucker's so big, it's so big and heavy, I don't want to drag it down to the basement just yet. It is a beast. It does have wheels like the Party Box 710. I don't know if you can see them. They're very small little wheels, very tiny. On the back, you can see you have two inputs for microphones, or you can switch one to guitar. Your optical cable, 3.5 millimeter cable, and a USB-A. So the controls on this are very much more modern looking than, say, the Party Box 710. Everything is a touch screen button and it lights up, other than the power button. That's a standard button, but everything else, get this thing to focus. Everything else is touch screen, so when you turn this off, all that goes off. And it's a very shiny black finish, so that's gonna get fingerprinted up, I'm sure. But it's got two handles. Basically, you can grab it from the front side or you can grab it from the back side, but there's nothing on the bottom handle wise, so to pick this thing up and carry it is kind of a chore because there's really nothing good to grab on the bottom. You can see the lights are going. Very similar light mode to the XP700 or XP500, only they've added bottom lights. Let me turn the lights down here. I'll just turn them off. So it's got the same kind of light modes when you go into the Sony app. But like I said, if you had really thick carpet, if you had this on some really thick carpet, you probably wouldn't see a whole lot of light. You see I got on this rug. The acoustics in this room are pretty lousy because it's mostly hard floors throughout this is the main floor of the house, other than a couple rugs. So the acoustics in here are not good at all. But I didn't want to drag this to the basement. You can see it's to the back also. So the lights sometimes will rotate around the front to the back. So that's kind of cool, but still the Party Box lights are a lot better. All right, now it's running in mega bass, and just like the other Sony speakers, you can switch it to regular or stamina. Turn the light back on. I don't know if I can get the camera down here to see this or not, but what I was talking about when I unboxed it is it's clear on the bottom. You can see that's because that's where the lights are coming from. So the bottom of this thing has a clear plastic over the bottom. And like I mentioned, two mid-range drivers, two tweeters, large 12.6 inch woofer on the bottom, tweeters on the sides and the back. So it's supposed to have a 25-hour battery life. That's kind of the thing that sets this apart from the Party Box 710. But to be honest, like I said before, some people would complain, well, the Party Box, I don't want that 710, it doesn't have a battery. So, but if you go back and look at some of the videos I've done on that, I said, well, you know, it's really not that portable of a speaker that you want to be dragging around somewhere. Well, the same applies to this one, because this is at least as big and heavy and hard to maneuver if you're wanting to take it somewhere. So it's good that it's got a battery, gives you that option, but that really wasn't a huge drawback for me anyway with that 710, because I take speakers to work with me and stuff a lot. So the 310 is big and heavy enough, and I had no problems taking that around. But this, that'd be a little different story. I'm still trying to work up to go in the basement. So anyway, let's do a little sound check on this thing and see what we got. Again, I'm on the main floor of the house up here where it's mostly all hard floor. This room has a really high ceiling, so the acoustics in here are not great. The microphone is about, we're about 12 to 13 feet away. I've got the camera zoomed in a little bit. One other thing I forgot to mention about this is this doesn't have any kind of waterproof rating. So like the PartyBox 710, you wouldn't want to use it while it's getting wet. So here we go. This is going to be, we're going to start out in the mega bass mode. It has different modes. I'll go through the different modes. So this is mega bass, and we're going to start at 20%. This is plugged in. I'm going to unplug it here in a minute and see if it gets any weaker like most of these speakers do. Go up to 40. 20 to 40 is a big difference. Tripping my camera out. That's pretty freaking loud. 80% is pretty loud. This song has a really strong bass line, and a lot of times it can sound kind of a muddy, kind of that you kind of get that with this, but that is not necessarily the speaker. That's kind of how this song is. I'm gonna go back to 80%, and then I'm gonna go unplug it and see if it gets any weaker for output. Whenever I unplugged it, but to me it didn't sound like I lost a whole lot, but like I said, I wasn't in front of the speaker. But it does have tweeters around to the back, so when I get done with this, I'll kind of go around the speaker so you can get an idea of what it sounds like to the sides. Let's go back to it, and then I'll change tracks. That being live sound, that didn't sound quite as anemic as some of these Sony speakers. When you go to live sound, it totally zaps out the bass. That didn't seem like it affected it as much. All right, here we go, back to it. Go back to mega bass. Custom EQ. So that's custom EQ. It's hard to talk over this thing because even at 80%, this is loud. So that was custom EQ, where I've got it set to basically lift up, because you can't use mega bass and custom EQ at the same time. So my custom EQ, if you can actually see it because it's white, you can kind of see it. I've got the bass lifted some, the mid slightly, and the treble a little bit more. so it's a little bit brighter sounding, perhaps. Okay, I'm gonna go back to it, go to 100%. Keep your ears. 100%. Dang, that's loud. All right, I'm gonna go back to mega bass, and we'll do the flow song. All right, we're back to mega bass. All right, here we go. This is at 40%, and I'll work my way up. Up to 60. 60%, then I'm going to go walk around the speaker some. I'm going to go back to the previous track to do that. Alright, I'm going to run it at 60% and I'll walk around the speaker a little bit so you get an idea. Since this has tweeters around the sides and the back, 60%. Tripping my camera out quite a bit. So anyway, without comparing this thing head to head yet with the 710, I would say this is, I don't know if it's louder, it's as loud, but I don't think it has the same kind of bass. I'm not getting that bass effect that I get from the 710. But we'll have to compare them head to head to see. But one thing that this does lack that the 710 has, if you want to use this for karaoke, this doesn't have like adjustments for your echo and stuff like that on your voice, pitch changer or whatever. So it doesn't have those kind of options. If you wanted to run karaoke, this would not be as good an option as the Party Box 710. So let me know what you guys think. I'm impressed with this speaker. It sounds good. You can, of course, it has 3-band EQ in the app like the JBL does now also. The lights are not as good as the JBL, but without hearing both of these, I'm not getting that same wow effect from the bass. But this is in a different room. So when I had that 710 out in the garage, it really impressed me when I first got it. So it could be the room, but I don't think so. I think it's more the JBL just has more impressive bass. But look for that coming soon when I get a chance to drag both of these beasts in the same cage together to get the rumble going between them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe and like if this was something that you enjoyed. Everybody have a good Halloween. Don't get tricked, just get treated. That's a wrap. Right, Chewy? Say that's a wrap.